John Smith?
That's the best I got right now.
I know that's a pseudonym.
It was an anonymous.
All right, John Smith. So,
But wait. I haven't even said what the question is.
well, we have
They
to
haven't said the question.
we
just
have to
came
hit
into
up
this.
our sponsors first.
Yeah, we just started rolling, and now we're all willy-nilly like trying to get into this, and we haven't even like set anything up yet.
Yeah, John just started recording before we're even ready. That was rude.
Rude. I tell you.
Yeah, but let's talk about our sponsors.
Yeah, go for it. Talk about our
one is
sponsors. I'm trying to set this live thing
Yeah,
up.
the Tourism and Commerce Board of Croatia would like you to know that they mostly did not participate in the I can't remember what it was called.
The election?
No,
They didn't participate in what?
it wasn't a crusade. It was the crusade before the crusade.
The crusade.
So the Pope Urban or Julius or Innocentius or I can't remember the Pope's name, but the Pope was like, hey, let's go on a crusade to help.
Right. How long ago was this? I mean, this is just going on around about
This was in the year like 1095.
year of our Lord.
The year of our Lord 1095.
Right.
And the Pope's like, let's go help out the Byzantines,
Right.
and while we're at it, we'll retake Jerusalem from the infidel.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just speaking German right now.
Well, on the topic of German, what happened was
Right.
about
This is just a shout out to our sponsors.
what happened was about 100,000 Germans, just like regular German dudes, were
Right.
like,
Are you gonna get in the picture here on the live?
whatever.
No.
So like 100,000 German dudes were like, yeah, let's go kick the infidels' ass. And they all got together, and first thing they did was they killed a bunch of Jews.
What does this have to do with Croatia and our sponsors?
No, it's coming. They killed a bunch of Jews, which you could have seen that coming.
Right.
But then they marched down through the Balkans.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we're gonna, because they got to go through the Balkans to get to where the infidels are.
Right.
And they
Again, what does this have to do with our Croatian sponsors?
here's what they did. They marched through Croatia,
Right.
and they were total dicks.
Okay.
And the Croatians didn't participate.
Okay.
Though the Croatians did kill a bunch of them.
Okay.
So
Again, I have to ask, what does this have to do with our Croatian sponsors? You got all excited about that story there, and you have nothing.
Listen, they wrote me an email about how they didn't participate in some really nasty stuff.
Is that it?
And then I read up on it, and I was like, yeah, but they
so
killed
they
a
didn't
bunch of people.
participate in that.
Yeah.
And they want you to let you know Croatia is cool.
Yeah, well, I didn't print out the email and bring it with me.
Well, you should next time.
I probably should.
You should.
Yeah.
Because then we wouldn't have arguments like this.
Yeah.
Or you just going off on a history lesson.
Listen, man, history is important.
Okay, and we're also sponsored by Dave's Lube.
Dave's Lube.
Dave's Lube would like to remind you that the holidays are coming. So for all your lube's needs, get some Dave's Lube.
Dave's Lube.
All right. So we got a question from, what's this guy's name? It's another anonymous one. So are we gonna
It was John. You said John Smith.
I know. I was just making something up though, because it's I don't know why people are writing it anonymously lately, but
I don't either, but
maybe they're just too embarrassed to ask these questions.
that happens.
I guess that's what we're here for.
Maybe they just don't. But yeah, we'll make up a name. We'll call him.
We already used Bartholomew, so we can't.
We use Cornelius.
Yep.
Let's call him Papermate.
Papermate.
Papermate Jones.
Papermate Jones.
Papermate Jones.
The fourth.
The fourth. Esquire.
Junior.
So from Papermate Jones the fourth Esquire Jr.
Yes, he wants to know the topic of his email just says what the fur.
What the fur?
What the fur. And he says he has been invited to a furry party, and he has no clue what it is. Now, here's the thing. When I got this email,
Yeah.
I have no clue what a furry party is. And I'm like, I consider myself a pretty, sexually open dude to some weird, I like a little role play every now and then and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what a furry is.
Okay, a furry is like a person that dresses in a furry animal costume.
Like any kind of furry animal? Or?
Any kind of, as far as I know, any kind of furry
So
animal.
you could be like a rat?
You know, you're probably not going to be a very popular furry if you're a rat, but
Right.
maybe a fox.
But what do they do? Do they like walk around all like in their like furry costume and like
Yeah.
rub on the fur?
And they put on like animal ears, and
Weird
they
shit. That is some weird shit.
yeah, and hey, first out, shout out to furries. You know, whatever, do what you got to do. If this is what you want to do it. Hey, I'm not judging. And
I'm judging.
And most furries, I think, don't do like weird furry sex stuff. And I'm not calling it weird.
So like, what is the gratification in it then?
Well, it's sex.
But you just said they don't participate.
Let me get down to it. Let me get down to it. Here's what some furries, what they do is they, I guess they take the crotch off the furry costume, and they go up to other furries and just have at it.
Really, just all willy nilly?
Yeah.
Just like all willy nilly, just sliding it in there.
Just fudging like animals.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I could see the possibility of like if you're too embarrassed to like walk up to a woman and say, I would like to hook up with you, or some way of saying, let's just go back to my place and bump uglies, right? And so you got to dress in a costume, and I assume if you're walking around with your junk hanging out, and the other person's walking around, with their exposed vaginas,
Yeah. Continue.
that it is all good.
Yeah.
In the hood. And I assume if you're a bit shy, maybe the furry costumes could bring that animal side out of you, that you're just going to take what you want.
Yeah. And
Depending on the animal, though.
and I'm going to stop you just to remind everybody that consent is important.
Right, but you made it sound like they just don't even have consent, that they just go in there and they're just...
This is not actual animals. Consent is important.
Right.
But and another thing, if you're shy and you have trouble hitting on girls, you should not resort to dressing up in an animal costume and walking up to them with your junk hanging out. Because you made it sound that way. But if you're hanging out with furries and you're a furry,
right? Do you have to get invited to it?
Well,
I mean, I assume by the email that our buddy Papermate Jones,
yeah,
Jones the third,
he was invited.
the fourth.
Yeah.
I assume you have to be invited, and it's like some strict like people don't go walking around like I don't think you stand by the water cooler at the office and you're like, dude, check it out. On Saturday nights, I like to dress in furry costumes.
Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Listen, man. I've had some people tell me some really weird stuff, like in the break room at work.
Right.
And
but would anybody ever? Do you think somebody would just walk up to you and you just be like, "Check it out, bro. Like Saturday nights, I like to dress up in a furry costume. Go to these furry parties. They're pretty fun. I mean, it reminds me of that cake farting thing that we went to.
Yeah, some people like cake farting.
Yeah, which is weird too. I mean, that whole scene was weird.
Everybody's got their thing.
Right. Those things are weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, I understand a bit of role playing, I get that, but I don't get...
You like to dress up as Peter Pan?
No. I like to say Daddy's home.
Get down with Tinkerbell?
I like to say Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home. You just go from there.
All right.
Yeah. Nothing crazy.
All right.
Sometimes maybe I'm a cop. I don't know. I don't like being a cop, though.
All right.
Maybe she's the cop.
You can be whatever you want.
Yeah, maybe she's the cop.
You try being...
That one's kind of cool.
Be Peter Pan one of these days.
I was once Peter Pan would be cool, but that would be weird. That would be just weird.
Well, Peter Pan has a sword, and you could
Yeah, but Peter Pan is kind of, if you look at Peter Pan and you look at the Peter Pan movies, he's kind of like asexual, dude.
Well, in Hook, Peter Pan had kids.
Well, I mean, that's because he got out of Neverland and finally grew up.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't like...
But he had to go back to Neverland.
Yeah.
And like become asexual again.
But he wasn't totally asexual because Tinkerbell was like, oh, I totally have the hots for you.
Right. I never watched that movie.
It's a great movie. You should watch it.
I don't know. It's something about Dustin Hoffman trying to be Hook. After Dustin Hoffman did Tootsie way back in the day,
Dude,
I could not watch another Dustin Hoffman movie.
Dustin Hoffman does a hella good Captain Hook.
I know, but I mean, after he did Tootsie, which was way before your time,
Yeah, never seen Tootsie.
you probably, yeah. It'll ruin you for any Dustin Hoffman movies after. I get it, he's a great actor, and I would really like to watch a Dustin Hoffman movie, but I just can't do it.
Listen, man. You just...
Because I see him in that wig and those glasses, and I'm just like, eh.
You just watch Hook. Just do it.
I've tried.
Just do it. Just overcome
But
your little
we're getting away from
Hook.
the thing.
No, this is important.
It
Hook
is not
a great
important.
movie,
Right.
And Dustin Hoffman is a great Captain Hook, and you gotta watch Hook.
Right, to prove my point that Peter Pan is asexual.
Or not. Tinkerbell has the hots for him.
Right, but does Peter Pan do anything with that? I mean, I would tap Tinkerbell.
No, but Peter Pan's very polite about it.
No, he's asexual, dude. I'm telling you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Right, so what
But
were we talking about?
you could bring the sexy to Peter Pan.
Bring the sexy to Peter Pan.
Yeah, make Peter Pan sexy.
Right. Right.
Like
Maybe if I ever wanted to get into another role play, maybe I will dress up as Peter Pan.
like wear a leather vest or something.
Right.
Have your chest hair all hanging out.
I don't have chest hair.
With green tights, be like, yo,
I'm not a hairy beast like you are.
I'm Peter Pan.
Right. Nah, I don't think I'd do that. Like I said before, my favorite one was the last girl I was hooking up with. We did this cop robber thing where she was the cop.
All right.
That was kind of hot.
Yeah, all right.
It was kind of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's get back to the furries.
Back to the furries.
So educate me, please.
All right, so...
Because I am confused. I don't understand why people would want to do this. Why would you want to dress up as a cute little furry animal and go around and like be all gross and sexy? Because let's just be honest here, you're kind of sweating after sex. I imagine in a suit like that,
You'd really be sweating.
you'd really be sweating.
Yeah.
It'd be all gross and nasty, and you're still hanging out at a damn party like afterwards. It's not like you're just going in there tapping it and leaving.
Well, you could. I don't see why not.
Right.
Actually, I do. That would be rude.
Right.
That would be impolite.
Yeah.
You can't just show up,
Tapping.
get your rocks off and then leave.
Right.
That's not something you do in polite company.
Right.
Yeah.
So you walk in there, you find another furry to, like, are you, now here's my next question. Do you know if the furry you're hooking up with, like, and this is going to come across as very naive, but I got to ask.
Ask.
Like, do some people wear their little hoods things so you can't tell, like, if they're a man or a woman?
No idea. I've honestly never been to one of these things. Though
Okay.
they do sound like fun.
They sound kind of weird to me. I'd like to go and just observe.
Listen, man, are you telling me...
I would like to go and just observe.
Yeah, but
Just for the first time.
are you telling me that if some lady in a furry costume was like, oh, my vagina's right here and your penis is right there,
All I gotta
maybe
do is
we
put
could bring them together.
All I gotta do is put on that damn fucking furry costume?
Yeah, you're telling me you wouldn't do it?
I'd really have to think about it.
I'd do it in a heartbeat, man.
It depends on the girl.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Like if she's really, really hot, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
But she's in a furry costume.
Right.
So
you
it doesn't
can't
matter
tell-
if
so
she's
you
really, really
can't-
hot.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? It always matters.
No, it doesn't. Especially if she's in a furry costume.
Maybe all right. I don't see it. Maybe it's just not my thing.
Listen, man, I would in a heartbeat. That's all. That's all. I'm just gonna say I would do it in a heartbeat.
Maybe
If somebody's like, just put that on and we'll have at it.
right.
I'd be like,
but then
yeah.
do I got to walk around in that afterwards, or can I just rip that off and leave it there?
Does it
And
matter
like
that
put my
much?
clothes on. Yeah, it does. Because I don't want to be walking around at a party with a furry costume after I have sex.
So you'd be like, nah, I'm not gonna have sex because then I have to have this costume on.
With my gross, my gross bodily fluids and her bodily fluids all over me.
Well, you can go to the bathroom and go to the sink and wash everything off.
Well, true. Here's how I would do it. Here's how I see this scenario playing out. I just figured it out.
Okay.
Yes, I would put on the costume.
All right.
Immediately afterwards, I would take that costume off in the bathroom
Okay.
and leave.
That's rude.
Well, yeah, but again, we're going after the fact that
That's like if somebody invites you over for a cocktail party and you just show up and slam a bunch of vodka and take off.
I've done that.
That's rude.
It wasn't rude.
It's hella rude.
I had a reason to leave. I can't remember the reason.
Well,
but
yeah, because you drank all their vodka.
it wasn't even vodka.
And they were mad at you, so you left.
It wasn't even vodka.
that's-
It was,
that's-
oh, I remember what it was now. My memory's a little... I remember what it was while you're reading your text message. It was a whiskey party.
Okay.
It was a whiskey tasting party, and for some reason I thought I was like a whiskey snob. I was like, I don't know why, but I thought it was like this, like the best whiskey I ever drank was like, you know, Jack Daniels. But I thought I was like,
That's good whiskey.
yeah, but apparently it's not when you're with people that actually know whiskey.
Yeah, but they're fucking a bunch of snobby
Right.
assholes. So I understand why you would show up and just drink the whiskey, but you can't
Right.
just leave afterwards.
Well, here's the thing: is I showed up to the, and it was all set. All the whiskey was set up. I remember now because I was afraid that there wasn't going to be enough whiskey at the thing, right?
Okay.
So I had to pregame before I went.
Oh my gosh.
So I was already on one before I went. If
right.
that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Right. So I'm already a few in, and I go to this place
Yeah.
for this whiskey party, and
Yeah.
I can't remember who invited me, but there was like, okay, the whiskey was in the freezer, and I didn't get that part. And somebody was like, okay, so just sip the whiskey out of the jar. Just sip the whiskey out of the glass, swirl it in your mouth, and tell us what you think of the taste. And I'm like, huh?
I would do that. I would just take a big sip.
That's what I did.
It would be a mouthful.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Right? And they were like, and everybody's like swirling it around in their mouth, and I'm just like, whoop, put it back down, right?
Yeah.
And so we get about 2 into it, and they're like, okay, the whiskey's in the freezer. One of them's like a 15-year-old whiskey. Mm-hmm. Don't take. I mean, you could go back in there and have another shot if you want to, but don't drink too much of it.
Oh no! Did you drink too much of it?
I drank almost a whole bottle.
Oh no!
By myself.
That's so rude.
Yeah, and I kept going back there, and I kept drinking little shots, and I was like, you know what? I gotta go.
No, I understand.
I gotta
that.
go.
I understand that.
Like I was all hammered, and nobody could figure out how I got so hammered. Like everybody was there was like, dude, we only had everybody here only had like 3 shots. How are you so hammered? And I was like, I'm just not feeling well.
No, you just be like, I didn't have anything to eat.
No, I tried playing it off like I wasn't
I've
actually.
been out in the desert all day.
It was obvious. It was obvious. I was really hammered.
Yeah,
It was obvious.
I believe you. It's
And-
obvious when somebody gets
Yeah.
really hammered. Yeah.
And I am a sloppy ass drunk.
Okay.
When I'm really drunk, I am sloppy and not pretty, and so I'm like, I come out of the bath. I think I might have puked on myself in the bathroom because that's usually what happened when I drank too much. Is I puked on myself.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I wound up crying about how miserable my life was. But luckily that night, I only
Drank all the expensive whiskey and left.
drank all the expensive whiskey on my left, went to the bathroom, puked on myself, and then somehow left. I don't remember how I left. Like, I remember puking, and then I remember not being there anymore. That's what I remember. And I remember getting phone calls from seeing the people that I was at the party with. Because this is before everybody had a cell phone, so you weren't really getting phone calls.
Right.
Right? I remember seeing everybody I went to the party with, and they were not too happy with me.
Yeah. Okay.
And one dude was actually, the dude that brought the 15-year-old whiskey, he actually wanted to, he was like, I want money for that whiskey.
I can understand that.
And I was like, okay.
You drank his whole fucking
Right.
bottle of hella expensive whiskey.
Right. And it was like a $200 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, you drank it like it was Taka vodka.
Needless to say, I wasn't invited to fancy cocktail parties after that.
No, I'm sure you weren't.
Right. So, Can we get back to what were we talking about before?
We were talking
How did
about
we
how
lead
it's
into that?
rude to show up, fucking book it.
It's not rude if it's done in a way where, like, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Gotta go.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
You don't even, these days it's easy to get away with. All you gotta do is pick up your phone, go like this, and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Being a person that likes observing people and seeing how people like behave,
Yeah.
I might just I I might do the deed
Yeah.
and hang out
Man,
and see what this whole furry thing is about if I was invited.
man, I would like if I was at one of these parties and somebody's like, hey, just put on the costume and we'll have at it.
Right.
In a heartbeat, I'd be like, hell yeah. And
I
then
I need to make that clear. I would in a heartbeat say yeah too.
But then afterwards, I would hang out with these people.
I would, because I think I would too, because I would want to know, like, what is the turn on with the furry thing?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even care
Is it
about
feeling
that.
is it feeling the fur between, like, being naked and feeling the fur, like, in your nakedness?
Well, I mean, you're going to be feeling something else in your nakedness.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I mean, see, I would like to know what the turn on is about it.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand what the turn on is to cake farting, and I still don't get it.
I don't get that at all. But here's the thing. Like, yes, I would want to know what the turn on is about the furries, but here's the thing. Everybody has something they're turned on by.
Right.
And most of them, I just don't get it.
Right. Neither do I.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't turn me on, and it's okay that I don't get it. I'm sure
Right.
they don't get me or whatever.
Right.
But
Like bondage, I don't get it.
I would stick around, and I'd be like, well, they seem like friendly people.
Right.
So I would just stick around, get to know
What
them
if
a
some
bit.
weird dude in like a fox costume came up to you and was like, "I'm a fox," so foxy. I can't even say that with a straight face.
I just, hey, yeah, nice to meet you, dude. My name's Max. What's
Can
yours?
we go back? Can we go back into the room and I want to show you my foxy?
Yeah, and
Junk?
that's when you're like, if you're feeling adventurous, be like, hell yeah. And if you're not, just be like, hey, maybe next time, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would imagine, like, here's what I imagine this being like: is people get all dressed up in their furry little costumes,
Yeah.
and they're all tripping on some ecstasy,
Okay.
and they're all touchy feely, and they're all feeling the fur. and-
Actually, that would be, and I'm not internet world. I'm not saying that I have ever done ecstasy.
Right.
But I am saying it would be great.
Right, that's
do
what I think.
ecstasy and hang out with furries, yeah.
That's what that would make sense to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Going to a party, tripping some me, and feeling fur, that makes sense to me if I was into that,
Yeah.
right?
That I wouldn't even need to be having sex
Right.
for that. That would
Right.
be so not that I've ever done ecstasy.
Right.
But that would be so great. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It
would definitely be a thing.
just the thought of that makes me want to like unquit doing drugs.
Go to New York, because I always think these parties happen in like New York. I
They
never
happen
hear.
anywhere you go.
I don't even think I've never heard in California, of a furry party.
You just don't know the right people.
I'm glad I don't.
Well, they're friendly folks.
How do you know? You're just like making stuff up.
I just assume because, if you go online and you type in furry and you go on Google, you'd think you would see a bunch of pictures of animals,
Right.
like mammals,
Right.
and plus a few pictures of people in animal costumes. But it's, you type in furry, you click on images, it's dozens of pictures of people in animal costumes before you get to your first actual animal.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what? They all seem like very friendly people. How can you not seem friendly when you're wearing a cute bunny costume?
Right. And then you're gonna go see. That just ruins it for me. Like, I'm gonna go have dirty ass sex with this cute little furry person dressed up as a bunny.
Yeah. Just, hey, haven't you ever heard the term fucking like rabbits?
Yeah, but I've never wanted to go out and fuck a rabbit.
Okay, yeah, true that. But still, it's listen, man. Listen. Just go with the flow. I would go with the flow.
If I got invited to one of these parties, like I said, I would probably go. So what I'm gonna tell Papermate Jones the fourth.
Papermate Jones the Fourth Esquire Jr.
Right. So what I'm gonna tell him is, yeah, he should go to this furry party and go fur the fuck up.
Papermate Jones, absolutely go.
Yeah.
Do not pass this up.
Yeah.
If it's not your cup of tea, you don't have to go back.
Yeah.
But absolutely go, man.
Right.
This is an experience, good or bad, you will remember for the rest of your life.
But you don't want to go to a cake farting party.
No, those are upsetting.
Yeah, they are upsetting.
They ruin perfectly good cakes.
Just some chick squatting and farting on a cake.
Ruins a perfectly good cake.
Yeah.
It's upsetting. definitely.
Again, some chick, and there's no sex in that.
No.
Like, people are just standing around watching some chick fart on a cake.
At least at furry orgies, there's sex.
Yeah.
And nobody's farting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if the cake's there, you could probably eat it.
Yeah.
Because nobody farted on said cake.
Yeah.
So, that's going for you.
Well,
Definitely go, though.
Yeah, dude, definitely go. If I was invited and I wasn't engaged, I would be there in a heartbeat.
I am
And
single.
internet world, I'm not saying I'm a weird sex pervert, and I'm not saying that I've ever done ecstasy, but I might unquit doing drugs and drop some E and roll through that.
I think you need to use that as an excuse.
Just be like, I was high.
No, the whole unquitting drugs thing, and just be like, you know what? How else am I going to experience this as an experiment?
So
as a social experiment.
It's my excuse to unquit drugs.
Right.
Honestly,
As a social experiment.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that if just for no other purpose than I would like to be as present as possible.
Right, and it'd probably be fun. It would probably be funner to be there and watch everybody else tripping balls.
Yeah,
I think that would actually be a lot of fun.
And touch bits with some bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the whole bunny thing is kind of weird to me.
Well, hey, what about the Playboy bunnies?
Well, I mean but I mean
they're not furries.
They're not furries though, and it's just like it just reminds me. You know what I think of when I think of a furry bunny is I think of that bunny in that Disney cartoon Bambi, Thumper.
Thumper is not
I wouldn't
sexy.
I know, like I wouldn't want to hook up with Thumper.
Yeah, Thumper is not sexy at all.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I would go though.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Papermate, do it. In fact, go and write us back.
And let us know how it was.
Tell us all about it.
Send us some pictures.
Yeah, give us details.
Yes, and
give
then
us
we can
the
actually.
deets.
And if you're really good, maybe we'll actually interview you about the experiment.
That would be awesome.
So anyway, that is our show. We're gonna wrap things up. Again, to recap it.
All right, recap. Papermate wants to know if he should go to the furry party that he's been invited to. I say, hell yeah, do it. Touch bits with the bunny. Get to know some interesting people. Fucking yes, absolutely.
I say yes too.
It would be criminal not to go.
Got to experience it once.
Yeah.
And but just to be on the safe side, if you get invited to a cake farting party next, don't go to that.
Yeah. Also, Papermate
Jones.
The fourth. Probably the majority of furry parties, there's no sex involved. So make sure you know what kind of furry party you're going to before you show up. But either way, show up.
You're just hoping up a whole. So they just dress up in furry and hang out and talk.
Yeah. Maybe they play leapfrog.
It's stupid. It just makes it even stupider.
Hey man, I don't see
I
the
understand
problem.
hooking up in a costume, like going to a party, hooking up as a bunny or something like that, being a bunny and hooking up and having some fun. But just going and hanging out dressed as a, what the point is that?
Well, why not?
Okay, whatever. Anyway, we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, and Papermate, make sure you know what kind of party this is before you show up.
And wrap it up.
Yeah, and whatever you do, wrap it up.
Right. And we're going to sign off now. That is our show of Love and Stuff. What the Fur.
What the fur.
And until next time, people.
Yeah, have a nice evening.
Don't shit yourself, America.
Bye-bye.